a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, thank you so much for joining us. And here we are again, blessed and highly favored in studio, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win as a consumer advocate, making you more street smart, and making you more informed as a consumer here on the program. And we have a great lineup, as always, for you today. We have today Friendly Pest Solutions in studio with us. We're going to talk about termites, mosquitoes, and some wildlife that they can help you with in those situations where you need that. Also, we got Greg Tily coming on the show as well. He is UMortgage. We're going to talk about what's happening with the mortgage rates, what's happening in the real estate industry. So we're going to jump into that here in just a minute. Before we do, we always like to invite you to our third Thursday event, our monthly gratitude parties. We're hosting another gratitude party coming up on Thursday, August 15th. Save the date, 6 o'clock. Now, we're moving the location. This is over at Tampa Bay Brewing Company. It's in West Chase. It's over at Monroe Business Park, Tampa Bay Brewing Company. It's going to be a private tour of the state's #1 independent brewery, and compliments of Dave Doble, who you heard on our show. By the way, you can check out our YouTube channel and see all of our previous shows. Over 2,500 videos now. In 11 years on air with the Consumer Quarterback Show. So come on out, save the date, Thursday, August 15th. Appetizers, drinks, networking, and a private tour of Tampa Bay Brewing Company. So we hope to see you there. Please RSVP. Let us know if you plan to make it. Quick shout out as well to Lee's Royal Services. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. Lee is also a handyman, so he can scratch some of those things off of your honey-do list. Lee'sRoyalServices.com, home and office cleaning, handyman service, Lee'sRoyalServices.com. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives. All right, as you know, my wife Lindsay and I own a top 100 ranked real estate team, Keller Williams Realty, helping you buy, sell, or invest with confidence and featuring our listings live on air. We got a great opportunity on Old Archer Road in Gainesville. We have 90 pre-construction luxury condos available for sale. Now, we've got several that are pending, but the building is around 90 units. So this one's 3101 Old Archer Road. You're 1 mile from the University of Florida. So where are my University of Gator fans? Football, baseball, basketball. They've got a great college there, of course. So starting in the low 400s up to the 900s, and you get pre-construction pricing for a limited time. 1.5 miles to the University of Florida, 5 minutes to Shands Medical and Butler Plaza. You have high-end luxury amenities in the building as well. State-of-the-art fitness facility, resort-style pools. Awesome opportunity for new construction, luxury condos. Think about the opportunity to rent these out. Yes, you can short-term rent these properties out to students or short-term rentals, maybe something like an Airbnb. All right, we got a $1 million listing, $3.4 million listing on Howard Drive in Bel Air Beach, 221 Howard Drive. Check out this beautiful opportunity here. 5 bedrooms, 3 bath, 3,500 square foot single family home, exclusive Bel Air Beach location with one of the highest land elevations in the area, the historic Howard Drive area. 5 bedrooms, 3 bath, gorgeous 3-island kitchen with Thermador appliances, saltwater pool, 100 linear feet of water frontage on deep water, and of course you're 1 block to the beaches, beautiful beaches of Pinellas County. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, let's welcome in our new expert contributors in the from Friendly Pest Solutions. Let's say hello to JD Jaramillo. Welcome in, owner and CEO. Welcome in, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in. And also Thomas Mokris. Welcome in.
Thanks, Brandon.
Yeah, man. Awesome. So to give us a little background, I always like to get the story as an entrepreneur. I love entrepreneurship. I love small businesses. I really feel like they are the heartbeat of our country. Tell us a little bit about the company, JD, and how you got it started and how are things going?
All right. So we started the company in 2016. Came out of just a vision. Been in the industry for over 25 years. And I thought I could, make it work. I thank my brother and my wife for really believing in my dream.
Nice.
And we started as a 2-man team, and with the grace of God, we're now 16 member team strong.
Nice.
So, just mean, it just started out as a dream.
I love it. I love it, man. So that's entrepreneurship right there, getting the business up and running. Tough times probably in the beginning, and then like a lot of small businesses, and then you keep fighting, you keep pushing.
Absolutely. I didn't come on board full time until about after 2 years that we opened. Just getting the standard operating procedures in place, just kind of lining things up until I was able to break off my full-time job, and we're there. We're grinding every day.
I love it, man. Grinding out there, and especially this time of year in the summer, it's a hot one.
That's it.
Especially these 3 or 4 months that we're in the middle of right now. But yeah, I love that story, man. You small business owners, you turn into overnight. It's like, it's such a fulfilling though. It's so fulfilling to own your own business and to be that business owner. It's like the problems that come up with the challenges that come up, it's fine because you're like, all right, that's fine. I can take this. I can do it because it's going to be a long run. It's going to pay off.
That's it. I mean, long nights, a lot of hard work, but I don't regret it. I mean, it's just been a blessing in disguise since the minute we decided to branch off and take the plunge. I mean, it was a big risk trying to have responsibilities. You bringing up 3 kids, a family, a mortgage.
Right.
I had a pretty stable job that paid very well. So leaving that behind for a dream was a little risky and scary at the same time.
That's right.
But like you said, I mean, you have that mentality of just entrepreneurship and making it work. You have no other option but to make it work.
That's right.
And so you push through.
Burn the boats and take the island. You got to take the island. I like it. And as a business owner also, now you're hiring, you're firing, you're doing marketing, you're of course operations, you got human resources, you got all these different areas, business, the accounting, and you got to do the accounting and the taxes. So it's a lot as a homeowner, or I'm sorry, as a business owner. And so you have Thomas here helping you as well. So Thomas Mokris, tell us a little bit more about your position. So you are in business development.
Yeah, so thanks again, Brandon, for having us on here. So my role at Friendly Pest Solutions is pretty much handling a lot of the marketing and business development, like you said, making relationships, trying to grow our brand in the community, and just kind of spread the word of how great we are and how great our services are and the quality work that our guys do.
Yeah, I love it. So when it comes to the technical side, what are each part of the year? It seems in Florida there's these different. We do have somewhat of a season. Nothing like up north, of course. But what would you say summertime right now, kind of where we're at? What are some of the main issues that you're seeing, or consumer advocate tips that you'd share with our audience?
Sure. So right now we're getting a big uptick on mosquito management. With the afternoon rains that we've been getting, obviously there's going to be some standing water around their properties, and so we're getting a lot of calls from homeowners that are battling with mosquitoes. So, one of the things that we do is we educate our customers things that they can do to reduce the amount of mosquito populations around their yards or their property. We always talk about standing water. So what can you do as a homeowner to reduce the amount of standing water that you have around the property? These guys can breed in as little as a cap full of, like a cap of a water bottle. And so we always talk about kiddie pools. You need to make sure that they're drained daily. You don't want to leave any kiddie pools out for a very long time, because you're going to get an increase of mosquito populations. Garbage cans. You want to make sure that those things are constantly emptied or closed, because that can also increase the amount of mosquitoes. But we're always looking for things that are kind of like eye level or below. And so one of the things that we always miss or just don't pay attention to are gutters. And so we always recommend homeowners make sure the gutters are nice and clean, free of debris, so that they don't hold standing water, and that will definitely help with the mosquitoes.
Yeah, and if you live on a lake like I do, man, you see those midges. The blind they have different names. They call them blind mosquitoes, midges.
That's it.
And it's pretty crazy. They can be pretty thick. We installed one of those systems that will mist
Okay.
Every couple times a day, and then you can hit the button if you need it a little extra heavy. But that's really made a big dent in the activity. I guess they're somewhat trained. They have trained behaviors, right? I guess they figure out like, hey, this is a perimeter we don't really want to go around.
Correct. That's correct. Yep. So once they feel that there's a repellency there, they're going to know to avoid it. So they're very effective.
All right. If you just joined us, we're talking with JD. He's the owner and CEO of the Friendly Pest Solutions. Also, Thomas in studio with us as well. Thomas Mokris in studio with us. Friendly Pest Solutions. Now, we talk a lot about supporting the local economy, working local, shopping small, they say sometimes. But yeah, shop with the local folks that support this station, that support our community. And we're talking with Friendly Pest Solutions here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon BRimes. And when we think about these termites are another major issue that you see. It can cause a lot of damage. I've seen some stats saying termites cause more damage every year than hurricanes and tornadoes and fire all combined.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true, Brandon. And I'm glad that you mentioned supporting local companies. We are getting a lot of pressure from out-of-state companies and all sorts of service-related industries, and so we are family-owned. We're local. We know Florida bugs, and we support hiring people from our communities, and so that's really, really important. When it comes to termites, very destructive. We deal with a species of termites here in our area called Formosan subterranean termites. Very aggressive termite. They're known to even eat live trees, and so we want to protect our homes. We offer free inspections for anybody that calls us. We offer the free inspection, and then we show you how to protect the home. We offer liquid treatments. We offer bait installations. So we have many options to protect basically the biggest investments that most people make in their lives, which is their home.
Yeah, and a lot of times I think people worry about the chemicals that are involved. Correct. Can you talk a little bit about the eco-friendly or that aspect of your business?
Sure, that's a good question. We all of our products that we use are all EPA approved, and we follow guidelines to make sure. Product labels and things like that, to make sure that we're following them by the rules. The products that we use, they're I wouldn't say safe, because even table salt is not safe if you don't treat it properly. And so the way that we apply it is in a safe manner.
Right.
Most people nowadays are going leaning more towards the bait stations just because they're a greener product. It doesn't leach into the ground, so the bait station. So the bait station, if I understand it correctly too, is what happens is the insects will go into the stations and then return back to their nest. Is that kind of how it works? Yep. Very, very, very true. They come, they eat the bait, and it's not an attractant. So it's not like we're attracting the insects or the termites to the bait station. Okay. They randomly forage for food. And so as they stumble upon the bait and they consume it, they like it. They leave a feeding pheromone back to the nest. And so as they consume it, it collapses the colony. That's correct. Got it. Yeah, that's great. All right, let's leave it right there for a little bit. We're going to come right back after this short break here and talk more about the free inspection opportunity as well from Friendly Pest Solutions here in studio with us, JD Jaramillo and Thomas Mokris in studio with us. Also, feel-good story of the day. We have an Uber driver that picks up a passenger, and then he realizes it's his long-lost friend, somebody he hadn't known for a year or hasn't seen for years. So feel-good story of the day coming up as well. And we're going to talk with our mortgage expert contributor as well, Greg Tily, on the Consumer Quarterback Show. UMortgage, coming up on the Consumer Quarterback Show online at consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon BRimes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay BRimes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
Lindsay BRimes here with Archer Place in Gainesville, Florida. Our luxury condo community is located only 1.5 miles from the University of Florida, 5 minutes to Shands Medical and Butler Plaza. Our buyers love the high-end luxury amenities in their building, including a state-of-the-art fitness facility equipped with Pelotons, the resort-style temperature-controlled pool accompanied with cabanas and grills, and the gourmet chef's kitchen in our clubhouse that overlooks the pool. We have pre-construction pricing only for a limited time, with floor plans ranging from a 1-bedroom, 1-bath to 2-floor penthouses with plunge pools. Starting in the low 400,000s to the high 900s, investors, parents sending their young adults off to school, medical professionals, business owners, and entrepreneurs alike are investing in these residences. Reach out to us today at 727-263-3707 to get more information.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon BRimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
Welcome back. Thanks for spending some time with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate you supporting our local area business owners, our expert contributors, and helping grow the Consumer Quarterback Show. 11 years on air now. Really excited about the recent feature in Florida Realtor magazine. The August issue just came out and had a nice spread there, nice feature in Florida Realtor magazine. And we always feature our listings live on air. Our strategy works, helps our sellers sell faster for more money and with less headaches. Rudder Way, we got a vacant land parcel here for you. This is a great development opportunity. You got 10.12 acres of vacant land. It's a residential opportunity in Newport Richey. Rudder Way, you have access to the Gulf of Mexico, direct Gulf water access with an existing dock. And it's a great opportunity to own and buy dirt and develop land and be in a entrepreneurial state there. Rudder Way, Newport Richey, rare opportunity, rare, unique, 10.12 acres. We call it MOL, more or less, prime waterfront property. Great opportunity there. 6101 Bayside. This was right in the same area, the same general area, Bayside Drive. We got $1 million listing here. Beautiful property from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. 5 bedrooms, 3 bath, 3852 square feet, quarter-acre lot, lush palm trees. Beautiful home here. You got your own private boat dock, corner lot location, private pool, beautiful property. Bring your boat, bring your jet skis, kayaks, and enjoy that Florida lifestyle to the fullest. You have an open concept floor plan with tile and plank flooring throughout, large kitchen, ample counter space. Great opportunity here at 6101 Bayside Drive, Newport Richey, Florida. Another one of our beautiful properties for sale here from the Platinum MVP team. Over 100 listings our team now controls here in Tampa Bay and, of course, in Gainesville with the pre-construction opportunity there. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. Coming up, a feel-good story as well. Uber driver picks up a passenger and then later realizes it's a long-lost friend he hasn't seen since the 90s. So feel-good story coming up here on the program as well. All right, quick shout out to our friends at Solar Bear. If you're thinking of adding solar onto your property, we recommend you speak with Blake M. Brester over at solarbear.com. You can check them out online, solarbear.com. I believe in the photovoltaic opportunities that you have there. Put it on your roof, put it on your homes. You can do commercial as well, solarbear.com. And we've got like 52 panels on our home as well. So I think it works, and it's a great technology to add on to your real estate properties. All right, so let's talk more with our guest expert contributors here. Friendly Pest Solutions. We're talking with JD and Thomas here in studio, and you are offering free inspections. So let's do a call to action here. So for a free inspection for pest or termites, If any homeowners out there are thinking, hey, I might have something here, here's your opportunity. So can you describe that process with the inspections, what that looks like?
Sure. So, you call our office, 813-810-8464, and one of our customer service representatives will be more than happy to take your information down. There's no obligation. We go out and do a full inspection of your property, inside, outside, attic. If you have a crawl space, we get underneath the crawl space as well. And then we give you a fair valuation of what our findings are, and then show you how we can protect your home from either unwanted pests or termites, mosquitoes, you name it.
Yeah. Do you get put on like a monthly treatment or quarterly treatment plan? How does that work?
Correct. Yeah. It's either typically for residential homes, it's a quarterly service that we provide. We also offer once a year pest control service. So it's your preference. So customer, if you have an active lifestyle and you're not home as often, then we recommend our once a year service. It's also guaranteed. So if the bugs do come back, so do we, at no additional cost after your investment. And we offer the same type of guarantee for our quarterly pest control services as well.
Nice. Okay. Free inspection. Reach out to the hotline. We'll put you in touch with Friendly Pest Solutions. Just reach out to the show hotline, 727-263-3707. You can call or text the show hotline, 727-263-3707, and that is a off-air number. Now, you can also check on our website as well, consumerqb.com, and you'll see links there to all of our expert contributors, and you can submit an email form through the website at consumerqb.com. So you are hiring also. It's interesting, there was an article I pulled down about job market sours for recent grads. It's talking about recent college graduates are feeling the brunt of a slowdown in the white-collar job market. According to the Wall Street Journal, demand for roles that are typically require a bachelor's degree now fallen. The decline is especially acute for job seekers in their 20s who face intensifying competition for entry-level positions as fewer employees receive promotions and stay in their current roles. But you are hiring at Friendly Pest Solutions, is that right?
Absolutely. We're always hiring good people. I always tell applicants, I can teach you everything there is to know about pest control. I can't teach you to be nice, so we're always looking for good, nice, friendly people.
I love that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's that's, and then when my wife and I are bringing on agents, and almost every business owner can account for this. One of the key factors is being coachable. Being malleable somewhat, learning, being able to learn, being able to pick things up. But then it all starts with having that friendly attitude, especially in real estate. There's something called the smiling effect. I teach classes. I got a class I'm teaching at the Pinellas Realtor organization called Win with Sellers, teaching the class coming up. But it's the smiling effect is interesting because the FBI hostage negotiator that came up with this kind of a rule, it says you're 31% smarter by simply smiling.
Absolutely.
And you're able to negotiate. You have more mental agility, and you're able to work through those situations.
I truly believe that. I mean, we even teach our customer service representatives that answer the phone to have a smile in their face.
Yeah, that's right. You can tell it on the phone.
That's it.
You can see it over the phone, feel it over the phone. That is friendlypestsolutions.com. Check them out online, friendlypestsolutions.com. JD, Thomas, thanks for coming in.
Thanks so much, Brandon. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Your time.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and talk real estate and mortgage and finance with Greg Tily here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. UMortgage, we're going to talk with him. What's happening with rates? What's going on in the Tampa Bay market? We're going to dive deep into that. Follow us online. We'd love to connect with you at BrandonRimes1, at CQB Show. And please subscribe to our Rumble and YouTube channel with the Consumer Quarterback Show, all online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rimes here, joined in studio by Gregory Tily on the Consumer Quarterback Show. UMortgage. We're going to talk real estate, mortgage, and finance here coming up in this segment. Quick shout out to our friends over at Heights Soft Wash, a pressure washing company here in Tampa Bay. Work with our expert contributors, work local with the companies that support the Consumer Quarterback Show and Salem Media. HeightsSoftWash.com. Say hello to Ramin. He's the owner, does a great job cleaning our real estate properties. HeightsSoftWash.com for pressure washing. HeightsSoftWash.com. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on those special offers and incentives. All right, hot property listing here, 719 7th Street North, St. Petersburg. This is Pinellas County. Great opportunity to own a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, plus a bonus room, single-family home, almost 1,300 square feet. You have a closed-in porch full of sunlight on when you're looking at the historic Uptown District. You got these beautiful brick streets, and it's a highly sought-after area, 7 blocks from Central Avenue in the downtown city of St. Pete. Lot is previously accommodated a garage apartment in the past. You have wood flooring, high ceilings, stunning fireplace, beautiful porch, kitchen, and back room floors were refinished, that is, in 2016. Updated kitchen, 2018. Stainless steel appliances, granite countertops at 719 7th Street North in St. Petersburg, Florida. Great opportunity to own real estate. All right, we got a property at 14135 Cypress Circle. This one is in Carrollwood Village. Beautiful villa-style condo, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 2 carport. You have 1,308 square feet, single-family home, covered front porch with beautifully tiled floor. Living room flows effortlessly into the dining room and den. Kitchen with shaker-style cabinets, stainless steel appliances, tray ceilings, and breakfast bar. Great opportunity at 14135 Cypress Circle, Tampa. And you can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, let's welcome Greg back in. Greg Tily, welcome back in, sir.
Thanks, Brandon. Great to be here.
Yeah, hey, my pleasure, man. And it's all about rates. A lot of times when people are thinking about buying and they're looking at these rates and thinking, man, I just wondering what's going to happen. Where's this going? And what's my affordability factor? It all comes down to payment.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And rates have been up and down. You know, if you would have asked me or a lot of professionals what rates we're going to do last year, 90% of them would have been wrong, right? So we kind of we're at the mercy of what the Fed does and all that. So, not much movement last week on rates, but this week, jobless claims came in high, but the GDP also came in high. The Fed meets this week on Wednesday, so we'll see what that has, what he puts out on Wednesday. That will have a big effect on what rates do. Yeah,
it's interesting when you think about the amount of influence that the Federal Reserve has, right, and the power that they have. And initially when, inflation came out, I still remember they were saying it's transitory inflation.
That's right.
Nothing to worry about. Transitory. And then it was opposite of that. It was a very, it was the opposite of that. I mean,
what's your definition of transitory, right? Some people will say, well, transitory is just, there's a certain amount of time. But for a lot of people, transitory is a lot different than what the government's saying transitory is. So when 2024 came in, the Fed came back and said, hey, we're going to do about 4 rate cuts, anticipating about 4 rate cuts this year.
Yep.
March came, they're like, we're not going to do that. Maybe 3, maybe 2. April came, May came, probably not going to do any. So then we saw rates bump up. And now the last time they met, a couple weeks ago, they said, we're looking at maybe doing one in September. So that's kind of what we're holding on to with all the economic data that's coming out last week and this week. Hopefully he sticks to that and we see the first rate cut coming in September. That's what everyone's hoping for.
Yeah, it seems like there is a lot of sideline money, a lot of sideline buyers just waiting on a little bit of an improvement.
Absolutely, especially on the refi side as well. There's a big push to get the refi boom going, but it's got to make sense, right? Just because a rate drops a quarter of a point or half a point, does that make sense to refi? And I think we will see a lot of refis here coming in, hopefully in the next 6 months to a year. I know there's a lot of investors right now trying to push the refi train and give a lot of incentives. But as a consumer, as a person with a mortgage, you got to ask yourself, does it make sense?
Right.
And a lot of people don't. I remember when I refied my first house, the question I asked, when's a good time to refi? My bank wasn't telling me. The person I was talking to didn't tell me. So I called a buddy. He's like, about when it drops about 1 point. Depends on the loan size.
Right.
It depends on your break even. Depends on all that.
Yep.
So I found that when I talk to clients looking to refi, they have no idea what the break even, what the analysis is of if it makes sense to refi or not.
Yeah, because I used to hear the 2 points. It's got to be 2 points. But it really comes down to how much are you saving and then how long is it going to take to recoup that savings?
Correct.
Your
So if
cost involved.
100%. So if it costs $4,000 to refi and you're saving $400 a month based on that lower interest rate, that's a 10-month break even.
Yeah.
That makes 100% sense to do.
Right.
Right. But if you're only saving $100, now that's 40 months. That's over 3 years. Does that make sense? What's your plan with that house? Are you moving within 3 years?
Right.
Are you looking to downsize, upsize? So a lot of that goes into consideration. I find consumers don't have a clue on that. Even consumers that are, 90% into their refi. I'm like, well, why are you refining? To lower my interest rate. That's great, but should be to be saving money, right?
Yeah.
And $1 million drop of a quarter is a lot different than $100,000 drop of a quarter, right? So saving a lot more. So all that analysis has to go into it, and I don't believe there's a lot of people out there teaching consumers how to do that analysis.
Yeah, and if you're just joining us, folks, we're talking with Greg Tily here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. He is our mortgage expert contributor, all things mortgage related. We want you talking to Greg, and reach out to the show hotline. You can call or text the hotline. And Greg, go into a little bit about the background of your military background, and I want to bring that right into the VA loan discussion.
Absolutely. So I did 20 years West Point graduate, 98, 20 years as a Apache helicopter pilot, couple deployments, Afghanistan, Iraq. Moved all around the country, so I'm, well versed in the veterans, stresses of moving every 2 to 3 years, and well versed to know what they're looking for, and kind of teaching them, how to build equity in building, adding properties,
build
to
wealth.
your portfolio, build wealth using real estate. It's a great way to build wealth.
Yeah,
especially in the veteran community.
So I know you had posted a story on your social media last week about a veteran getting bad advice. Can you elaborate on that?
Absolutely. So I had a realtor call me actually and said, "Hey, I'm working with a veteran. He's been trying to get approved for 3 weeks. He still doesn't know if he's approved," and which kind of rose a red flag to me, because that should not take 3 weeks. Should take all of 24 hours, if not less. So I said, have him call me. So he called me, took a little bit of time to call me, but he said that the person he was working with said, well, you can't get another VA loan because you currently have a VA loan. Incorrect. You have to write a letter to the VA stating why you want to use your VA loan again after selling a house within 100 miles. Not a VA requirement at all. He didn't know how much he was approved up to. So after talking to him for 5 minutes, I pulled his certificate of eligibility right from the VA website, did the analysis, and within 5 minutes he was approved to keep his house at a 2.25 interest rate, which he wanted to rent out, which was great. Didn't have to sell that. He had kids too that he was going to utilize that for them when they were in college. And he could purchase another VA home, $500K, with no money down.
Wow.
It blew him away, because they were telling him you need money down. It'll be a 30-day or longer process till you sell your house, which we didn't need to do that. So he was happy. The realtor was happy. His kids and family were happy. And it's just that knowledge, 88% of loan officers do 3 or less VA loans a year.
Wow.
Right? I'm doing 3 to 5 a month. So, I'm well versed in the VA guidelines, and if anyone's ever having a problem or been denied, or you don't agree with what someone's telling you, reach out to me. Give me a phone call. Reach out to me. Social media, please reach out, because the whole point of a VA loan, get vets into homes, and we shouldn't be, the whole point of VA guidelines is, if there is a gray line, you always default to helping the vet.
Right.
And a lot of people look the other way.
Yeah, reach out, 727-263-3707. You can call or text the hotline, 727-263-3707. Call or text. We'll put you in touch with Greg and run the scenario by him. Let him know where you're at, what you're looking at. Sometimes people say, oh, well, my credit might be a little bit off. Are you able to do rapid rescores and help people with their credit too, and get them in a position to buy?
Absolutely. I mean, knowledge is power. And let's have all the facts to determine, let's work off facts versus assumptions, right?
Yep.
I get a lot of I think.
Right.
I think, well, I can't buy because I need 20% down. No, you don't.
Right.
Absolutely not.
Right.
I can't buy. My credit score is under 700. Oh, you absolutely could buy.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think my credit score is this. I have people tell me their credit scores in the 6s, comes in, you know, it's 7s. But I also have people tell me their credit scores are 800s, and it comes in at 6s. So let's work off facts. Hey, free consult. I cost no money for you to give me a call and run these scenarios.
Right. Yeah, that's right. And so, Greg, I got some interesting stats here. So, Chief Economist from NAR put out a list of the top foreign countries that are participating in the U.S. market. So we'll have a little fun here. Top foreign buyers, top 5. You care to take a stab at it? You care to take a guess?
Sure.
Top 5. So give me your top 2 or 3. What do you think is going to be in the top
China.
5? China's up there, number 2.
Canada.
Right. Canada's number 1. Yep. You got number 3 coming in at Mexico, just south of our border. They're buying mostly in Texas. Mexico's going to be buying in Texas. India coming in at number 4. I mean, they've got billions of people, right? And then number 5, Colombia. So now the next question is, so those are the foreign countries participating in the United States. What are the top destinations? Where are they buying? Which state are they buying in? Do you want to take a stab at that too?
Texas.
Texas is number 2.
Florida number
1. California's number 3. You got 2 more states. You got
New York.
Nope, didn't make the list.
South Carolina.
Arizona, number 4.
Okay.
And number 5 is Georgia.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, too, because it goes in and it analyzes. It says Asians tend to focus on the West Coast and New York, New Jersey. Canadians like the warmth of Florida and Arizona. And then Florida also draws wealthy buyers from Latin America and Britain and Germany. And then perhaps more related to jobs, Texas gets buyers from Mexico and India. So there you have it. There's your kind of your buying patterns and sweet spots of foreign countries participating in the United States. And, you know, we've heard these stories, too, these crazy stories about a lot of the Chinese buying out the CCP and who knows what company, how they're putting these shells in place, but buying up around military bases and farms, right? You've seen those stories, right?
I have. It makes me cringe a little bit.
It does.
Having a top secret clearance in the military for 20 years.
Wow.
Makes you wonder what's going on and why we, as a government, allow that.
Yeah, why we had that, why we allowed that. And there was just a couple of, there was a story I heard on Salem here. I think it was Roger P. Shulman that was mentioning, or maybe Mike Gallagher, he was mentioning how there was a couple of jets around Alaska just recently. Did you hear about that story?
I did, yeah. We intercepted some foreign aircraft trying to get into our country. But you got to ask yourself a question.
Yeah.
If we wanted to go buy land in China, would they let us?
Right.
Probably not. So why? I'm all about, being nice and letting people do things, but at the detriment of America and their people.
Right.
That's kind of where I draw the line.
That's the line. That is the line.
Especially with what was going on, yesterday at the Capitol as well.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. That was terrible.
With people taking down the American flag and putting up Palestinian flag and all that at our Capitol.
Crazy.
And how is that okay?
And how is there not a law already in place? I like what Trump said on Fox and Friends this morning. He said, if you're going to burn our flag, there needs to be a 1-year mandatory sentence for those people.
How do you think it would go over if a group of Americans went over to Iran or something like that, and we started pulling down their flag, burning it, putting our flag up? You think they'd be cool with it? Would be okay?
Oh, they definitely wouldn't be okay with that. But then there's the flip side of you do have the First Amendment, right? And a lot of military people will argue, probably 50% that, hey, I fought for our nation to protect that that First Amendment right. But then you got to look at, are these even citizens doing this?
Right,
but you fought under that flag too.
That's the difference. Oh, trust me, I'm on the side.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
There's people that are like, oh, I don't care.
Yeah.
The NFL, people kneeling during the anthem.
Yep.
It's disgusting.
Terrible.
That's terrible too.
Yeah. Yeah. There should be some exceptions, There should be some exceptions.
And spray painting the monuments.
Yeah.
Why can't you arrest them?
There you go.
That's wild.
Arrest them
and put them back out there the next day with some pressure washers or some.
There you go.
Some, hey, clean this up.
Absolutely.
Give them magic erasers. I want to see them scrubbing.
There you go. Yeah, make them work for it, right?
Me too.
All right, we got to take a quick break here, guys. But we're going to take a quick break. Come back more with Greg Tily here, mortgage expert contributor on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Plus, we have a feel-good story of the day. Uber driver picks up a passenger, and then later realizes it's his long-lost friend and buddy. They used to work together. Feel good story coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, online at consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Lindsay Rhymes here. My husband Brandon and I own the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams, and our team of seasoned agents is ready to help you buy, sell, invest, and love the life you live here in Tampa Bay. Communication, execution, customer service, and bulletproofing transactions are really where our team shines. We service Hillsborough, Pinellas, Manatee, Pasco, Hernando, and Citrus counties, and we have seasoned agents in residential, luxury land, and commercial divisions. Reach out to us, your Christian realtors, and let us help empower you with the right knowledge to make smart decisions with your next transaction. Call us at 727-263-3707 today. Again, that number is 727-263-3707.
Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. You can reach me at 727-263-3707. Call or text 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here in studio with Gregory Tily, UMortgage, on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to talk more about our feel-good story here in just a minute. Before we do, a couple of hot listings here. 140 92nd Avenue. This one is a great investment opportunity. Treasure Island, Florida. 2 cottages, renovated cottages on Treasure Island. Beautiful property. 2 cottages for sale. 1.5 blocks from the beautiful beaches of Gulf of Mexico, and only a quarter mile from a public boat launch. 140 92nd Avenue, Treasure Island. 3417 Poinsettia. This one is a vacant lot. Build your dream home on this waterfront lot in Hernando Beach. You have access to the Gulf of Mexico. 3417 Poinsettia Drive, Hernando Beach, Florida. Beautiful property. Water and sewer connections available. Cleared lot. Seawall stands ready. 84 feet of water frontage. No CDD or HOA. 3417 Poinsettia, Hernando Beach. Vacant lot. Build your dream home and buy some dirt.
Buy dirt, find one you can't live without.
All right, every day we tell you something positive here on our feel-good story of the day.
Tell me something good.
All right, so the cool story here. Uber driver picks up a passenger and then realizes he knows, hey, I know this guy. In January, Uber driver Danny Blanton, 51, and unexpectedly reunited with his long-lost friend, John Johnson, who was 60. During a ride to Dallas, Texas, UT Southwestern Medical Center, they chatted. They both felt a sense of familiarity. Johnson then asked Blanton, hey, do I know you? Prompting Blanton to recognize Johnson as a former coworker from the 90s when Blanton was a bartender and Johnson was head of security at the Dallas nightclub Phenomenon. Excited by the reunion, Blanton posted the dashcam footage of their joyful encounter on social media, where it quickly went viral, garnering over 10 million views. The video resonated with many viewers who appreciated the genuine moment of reconnection. The two friends have since exchanged numbers and plan to keep in touch. All right, there you have it, our feel-good story of the day. Always love those feel-good stories, Greg. We like to add that into our show. And so, Greg, let's talk a little bit about, the cost of waiting. So many people are kind of like on the sideline right now thinking about, hey, I'm going to wait for wait stuff. Maybe I'll refinance. Maybe I'll buy then. But talk a little bit about, the cost of waiting.
Yeah, oh, no, absolutely. So I get a lot of phone calls. Well, I'm waiting until the market's right. I'm like, well, what does that mean? I'm waiting for interest rates to decrease. Okay, well, if you wait for interest rates to decrease, that means more people are going to be qualified. That means that offer you put on that house, that now used to have 5 offers is now going to be 15 offers. So now you got to compete against 10 more people.
Yeah.
And that's just a number. So it's interesting. I've been working with someone for the last 4 years. And the initial, this was 4 years ago. She's like, I'm waiting for the market to be right.
So waiting to pull the trigger for 4
years ago.
Wow.
I talk to her probably every quarter, every 6 months. I'm like, Jessica, how are we looking now? She's like, Greg, I should have bought 4 years ago. Like,
yeah.
Yes, you should have.
That's
Jessica,
right.
Yes, you should. So when is the right time, right? I guess everyone's got to wrestle with that in their head. When's the right time to buy? But for me, being in the military, renting all those years, I had a smart person tell me when I was a young captain, hey, every post you go to, buy a property.
Yeah.
And I looked at him and I said, shut up, old man, you know nothing, right? So I refied him about 3 years ago. He's got 6 properties, 5 of them paid off. So he's bringing in all that passive income. No, I didn't.
And you didn't take his advice?
I did not do it. I did not take his advice.
Yeah.
So now I'm doing loans for all these young military folks or young families. And I'm like, hey, you're throwing away money toward rent. So, I've had a lived experience of knowing, the cost of renting versus buying.
Yeah, rent versus owning, man. It's a big-time deal. So if there's any renters out there, please raise your hand, give us a call, and it's going to be a situation where Greg can compare on paper, hey, here's your current rent, here's what you could buy for, offsetting those numbers. And if you look at the interest rates and you look at all that, you're still going to be ahead. Go back to your example of Jessica, I think you said, the gal. If she waited 4 years, so the average, let's just go on the low end, appreciation of 5%. That's 20% appreciation. Simple numbers on 100,000. I mean, that's $20,000 left on the table. Reach out to the hotline. We'll put you in touch with Greg. 727-263-3707. Call or text the hotline, 727-263-3707. Call or text. It's an off-air number. And we'll put you right in touch with Greg. You can do that rent versus own analysis or just, walk through your specific parameters. About a minute left, Greg.
Yep. So last thing, hey, I want to advise people, if you're getting blown up on your phone about doing a refi, everyone's blown up your phone, hey, we can save you money, let's do a refi now. One, you got to ask a question, how'd they get your number? Right? So they probably bought your number. They can, if you've closed a government loan, they can get that information from the county. But you got to ask yourself, does it make sense? Does it make sense? Do we wait? What's the cost of doing it now versus 6 months from now? You might get a lower interest rate 6 months from now. Again, call me, reach out to me. I can do that analysis for you. It's free analysis. Is it right to refi? Know the why. Give me a call before you pull the trigger.
Yeah, 100% financing for veterans, up to 4 units. You buy a quad, you live in one side, you rent the other 3 out. You buy a triplex, you live in one side, you rent the other 2 out, etc. You can build wealth that way, and Greg Tily is one of the best in the business. He can help you do that as well. You can see all of our contact information online at consumerqb.com. Of course, you can reach out through any of the socials or on the hotline we just gave out as well. Greg, thanks for coming in, man.
Great to be here.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir. All right. Hey, another great show. I want to thank all of our expert contributors. I want to thank you as well for tuning in and supporting the show, supporting all of our show partners. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes.